The last time we did an in-depth video on Bubba Wallace, I was concerned for his future, but man, what a difference a year makes. 2020 has already been a crazy year nonetheless, and who would have thought at the beginning of the season that Bubba Wallace would be the most talked about driver in the sanctioning body of NASCAR. Brothers making headlines on and off the track, and it's amazing to see, Finally, someone of Bubba's stature is finally getting some national recognition. Now, I do know that their circumstances are very murky when it comes to it, but still, something is better than nothing. At the end of the day, I don't think he's doing this for any monetary gain. He's just trying to speak up, he's trying to help out, and I respect that. To the main subject of this video, what does the future hold for Bubba Wallace? To be honest, I'm not exactly sure, but that's not entirely new. We had this same situation last year and the year before, so let's kind of go back a bit. Since entering the Cup Series in 2017, Bubba Wallace's equipment really hasn't stacked up against the rest of the competition. Richard Petty Motorsports in the early 2000s was straight garbage, but then they had a resurgence. Richard Petty merged with Ray Evernham and eventually took over a year later, breathing new life into the team. With a new rebrand and a new crop of drivers, they were ready to take on the NASCAR world. Marcus Ambrose won a couple of races for them, and Aric Almirola was consistently running well for 6+ seasons, even making the 2014 playoff. Unfortunately, after that playoff appearance, regression began to hit. They never seemed to get any better, and a frustrated Aric Almirola left for Stewart-Haas Racing. And who can blame him? During that same season, though, he unfortunately had a back injury at Kansas, thrusting in Bubba Wallace to the relief role. In his 4 starts, he was impressive. Not anything too major, only in 4 starts he had zeros across the board in terms of wins, top 5s, top 10s, and poles, but an average finish of 17.8 in these 4 starts. He was performing right around where Aric Almirola usually ran. That's a pretty good bar considering Almirola's career. You also have to throw into account that season Bubba Wallace had lost his Xfinity ride with Roush Racing due to sponsorship. He was sitting 4th in the standings after 13 races with 8 top 10s and an average finish of 13.2. Makes you wonder if he would have found that full-time funding over at Roush Racing, maybe he perhaps could have been a Final Four contender that season at Homestead. Anyways, he was able to ink out a deal with RPM for the 2018 season. Finally, Bubba Wallace was going to be in the Cup Series full-time, and it got off to an amazing start. A 2nd place finish in the Daytona 500, a ton of media hype, a ton of momentum, but if you actually watch week to week, you would know that Bubba Wallace that season really didn't stand a chance. RPM was in a regression period. They had just made the switch over from Ford to Chevy with a new alliance with Richard Childress Racing. It was going to be a rebuild period for both teams involved, and he was right in the middle of it. 2018 wasn't that great. In his rookie season, he scored 0 wins, 1 top 5, 3 top 10s, only 19 laps led the entire season with an average finish of 24.5 and a dismal 28th place points finish. That offseason was very murky. Nobody knew any of Bubba Wallace's plans, nobody knew RPM's plans. His crew chief Drew Blickensderfer had left after the season to go over to Front Row Motorsports, and the team had yet to announce their crew chief just a month and a half before the season. The in-house hire of Derek Stamets was soon announced, and the season was off and running, but not in the best way. Rumors began revolving around the team's sponsorship troubles. It was very obvious this team was in dire needs of funding, and to make matters worse, Bubba Wallace was going through it personally, was very public about his personal problems and his depression, which I gotta admire too. It takes a lot to really open up about that stuff. Some people aren't as open, so props to you on that as well. But the main point is, the performance wasn't there. After the first 12 races of 2019, he was sitting 29th in the standings with 0 top 10s. All around, it was looking like a bad year for Bubba Wallace, and many didn't even know if this team would last the entire season. That's right, that's how bad the rumors got. But behind the scenes, Richard Petty was trying to make his magic work, as well as Bubba Wallace, in bringing in that funding. Meanwhile, the team was digging in hard, trying to perform better with what they had. There's an old saying, you can do a lot with a little, and that's exactly what this team did in that season's All-Star Open.
He's got one more corner to get there.
I think Bubba's got
probably not enough time. Wallace, Suarez to the bottom.
Crossover!
Wow. Bubba!
My goodness, these finishes have been crazy.
And you get a hug. And you get a hug.
Oh, man.
And you get a hug. Bubba Wallace is in the All-Star race.
What does it mean to you to be in the All-Star race?
I will say, damn you, Ryan, for coming over here and making me cry. Appreciate the support from everybody. This has been tough, and damn, I've been feeling like a failure for a really long time, and I didn't give a damn out there.
And just like that, the hope was restored not only in Bubba's career once again, but in RPM as a whole. The team's win in the Open was like a win in the Daytona 500. The win not only exuberated the team's confidence, but was able to get attention from outside the sport, most importantly from companies with some serious bank. Worldwide Technology stepped up and brought the team secure funding for the rest of 2019. For the first time in a while, they wouldn't have to worry about sponsorship on a weekly basis. They could focus directly on their program, putting in the funding and making it better. Talk about finishing strong. It seemed after that funding was secure, the team got better throughout the season. In 2019, he had 0 wins, 1 top 5, 1 top 10, only 1 lap led, but an average finish of 23.9 and once again finished 28th in the standings. I know it's a similar season on paper compared to his rookie year, but that's not the whole story. Towards the end of the season, you saw him start to put together some solid runs, not necessarily solid finishes. Yes, he scored a 3rd at Indianapolis, a 13th at Martinsville, a 12th at Richmond, but in some of these other races towards the end, I remember him running somewhere in the mid-pack. Just unfortunately, he was either mired in traffic, some sort of trouble, or some sort of mechanical failure. Heading into 2020, I really didn't have any expectations for him, and I don't think many did either. At this point, we already knew the situation RPM was in. Sure, they improved, but they were never going to be a playoff contender, right? Well, this year, it has changed dramatically. 2020 has showed us that anything is possible, but in this case, it is well deserved. Bubba right now is on the outside looking in, but he is a lot closer. And what a difference a year makes. In the first 12 races of this season, he is sitting 19th in the standings. A 10 position swing compared to a season ago. That isn't just dumbfounded luck, that is just straight up hard work and talent. What the future holds for Bubba Wallace as of this upload, I'm not really sure. Right now, he is in a contract year and RPM is working on an extension with him, but with all of this mainstream publicity that he's been getting, being the only African American in the top level of NASCAR, I'd have to think this would lead to some interest from other Fortune 500 companies, which would lead to even bigger interest from much bigger teams. Nothing is official, nothing has been announced, and nothing is set in stone. This is all speculatory, but I'd have to assume with his improving performance combined with the amount of press coverage he is currently getting in this country at the moment, the future is definitely bright for Bubba Wallace, and that is something that many fans have not been saying for a very long time. Good luck to Bubba Wallace and Richard Petty Motorsports for the rest of the 2020 season and beyond. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, what the future holds for Bubba Wallace. Is he going to be a future champion? Is he going to be a playoff contender? Or is he just going to be one of these underfunded guys for the rest of his career? Only time will tell. And once again, that'll do it for another video. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Black Flags Matter. Catch you next time.